Hello, this is Mickey, and today we're going to be talking about the Dutch during the Age of Exploration. Here I have Catherine, Danny, Chris, and Sophie to tell you more.
During the middle of the 16th and 17th century, Dutch explorers were very influential in expanding Dutch economic and political influence across Western Europe and the New World. One example of a prominent Dutch explorer is Henry Hudson.
Hudson was an English explorer employed by the Dutch East India Company, and his goal was to locate a western trade route to Asia. He was responsible for exploring the Hudson River and the Chesapeake Bay, which directly led to the Dutch colonization of the American Northeast.
Hudson was just one of the explorers that laid the foundation for decades of commercial prosperity for the Dutch. Here's how the Dutch became so successful.
Although there were Dutch explorers before this time, it all started in 1602 with the establishment of the Dutch East India Trading Company. The goal of the company was to protect Dutch trade in the Indian Ocean and Eastern Europe, to find a new trade route to the New World to Asia, as well as assist the Netherlands in a war of independence from Spain.
In order to maintain the newly established Dutch trade empire, the company was granted a trade monopoly in the Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa and the Straits of Magellan between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, with the right to conclude treaties with native princes, to build forts and maintain armed forces, and to carry on administrative functions through officials who were required to take an oath of loyalty to the Dutch government.
All of this leads us back to Hudson. Not only did Hudson help the Dutch Empire establish colonization in the American Northeast, but he also assisted in setting up permanent fur settlements in Delaware, Connecticut, and the Hudson River.
The conquest of the Dutch not only served to help maintain a successful empire, but also beat out other major trading powers in Europe, specifically England, France, and the Portuguese.
By the early 17th century, the Dutch had created a very powerful merchant fleet, capable of seizing multiple Portuguese trade settlements across the Indian Ocean.
The Dutch began to feel the absence of power in the New World and in Asia. With Spanish strength on the verge of collapse following the defeat of the Armada in 1588, Dutch sea beggars began to prey on poorly defended Spanish and Portuguese possessions. For example, trade ports, called archipelago, for pepper plantations and oriental spices. They also took over Portuguese trade posts in Malacca in 1647.
In addition, the Dutch East India Trade Company established pepper plantations on Java and Sumatra, which led to bigger and bigger profits for merchants in Amsterdam.
Another example of a prominent Dutch explorer was Willem Janszoon. Janszoon was a navigator and colonial governor in areas around the Indian Ocean. One thing that sets Jans apart from other Dutch explorers was that he actually held a position of political power in the Netherlands, East Indies. He was also the first explorer to see the coast of Australia, and his intent was very similar to those of other Dutch explorers of this time, to explore the Indian Ocean in order to map out possible trade routes and ports.
The last point we are talking about today is how the Dutch are remembered today. The Dutch Empire is one of the most memorable institutions of the age of exploration, mainly because the Dutch initialized a golden era of trade, maintained the rise of the middle class, and held heavy political economic influence over the Indian Ocean and the American Northeast.
Thanks so much for watching.